Figured we'd come out to the woods today since the temperatures are super nice. It's been down in the 50s. It just went down to the 50s last night. And the high is supposed to be 80 today. Thought I'd come out to the cabin and cook my breakfast while it feels good out here and there aren't any mosquitoes, hopefully. So, let's get cooking. Like I said earlier, I wanted to come out here to the woods and cook my breakfast on a fire. But instead of doing the fire pit or the stove in the cabin, I'm going to use my little Oakvue folding stove to cook my breakfast. We are getting into October and finally starting to feel some wonderful temperatures. It's been a hot minute since I've used this stove. Let's see. That bottom plate has gotten a little bit warped. I've only used it a handful of times. Normally I would just sit on the ground to do this, but the last time I sat out here on the ground without any kind of back support, it bothered me, and sitting that way cross-legged for so long really hurt. So I'm just sitting on the porch of my cabin and I'm going to cook on these. I got some logs with some boards across the top. I'll use that as my platform. Alright, I'm going to need some smaller wood to go in this. I have some pieces of, some of this is pallet wood that I was just going to throw all the extra pallets, they're kind of getting rotten anyway, away, but I decided I'd split some of it up and use it for my little stove and maybe for kindling in the wood stove inside. So I ended up several months ago when I was out here, or about a month ago, I just sat down and I chopped up a bunch of this wood. And I've got a pile back here. But I'm going to need some kindling, some smaller stuff just to get the fire going. See what I can find. When I walk in to the woods, I will stop and pick up any branches that I find on the ground. And I make a pile right over here by my firewood, my cut firewood. And I can just grab it as I need it. That way it keeps the path kind of cleaned up, and it provides me some much needed kindling and stuff. This little stove I really like, but there's one thing about it that's different from when I'm trying to cook on a campfire or my wood stove inside. It takes much smaller pieces, and you have to continuously feed it because it will burn up fast. So it's not something you can get lit, or it sounded funny. It's not something that you can light, put some wood in, and just sit back and expect it to keep going. I mean, even with a campfire, you have to keep it going, but this, you're just constantly feeding. Alright, let's, how am I going to start this today, buddy? Let's see what I got in here. Well, I gotta get to it. You gotta move. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. And I've got a surprise. I'll show you in a minute. I think I'll use some twine. A lot of twine. Some twine. And I think I'm going to, and I'll use the cedar bark. We'll rough it up some if I can. And I will, I'm not sure if I'm going to use these cross pieces or not. It depends on how my pan fits. But I will shave off some of this here fat wood if I can. Alright, and I'm going to do this the easy way today. Yep, I'm going to use a lighter. But I'm going to show you something really cool with this fat wood. I've got my little nest. I know you can't see it from there, but I've got my little nest in there. I'm going to just lay some small pieces over the top of it. You can use a piece of fat wood if it's got a good bit of the resin in it as a match. You make a sliver like this and just light it, but the wind's not blowing. And it will light up. If it's got a lot of fat wood in it, it'll just light like a match, and then you can use that to reach in and set the other stuff on fire. Wow, that took off fast. I hope it stays. I don't even need this cedar bark. I'm gonna throw it in there anyway. I'll save that for later. Dottie, leave my cedar bark alone. That's mine for later. Okay, I've got to get some more stuff in here, because that won't last terribly long. Ooh, I got it this morning. I went for my 2-mile walk run. I did a little running today. It felt so nice. In fact, it was kind of cold. It was surprising. At 7 o'clock this morning, it was 49 degrees here. Wow, this is really big. My hands, by the time I got back, were actually hard to move because it was a little bit cold. Now I've got arthritis, so that probably affected that. Guess I better quit poking so much in there. I'm gonna burn my eyebrows off. Don't lick me. I don't really want to use this wood, the pallet wood, with if I'm going to be cooking food directly on the fire, like, oh snap, I may have an issue here. I initially, when I set this up, was thinking that the bottom was more solid than it is. You know what? I have caught the wood underneath on fire. Okay, well, oh mercy. What am I going to do about that? Well, I can take this middle piece out. That's what's on fire, I think. I was kind of using that as my, I was going to set my pans on it because it's stuck out. Well, bull. Alright, what am I going to do about it? I guess I could let it burn. I really don't want to. Maybe I can soak it in the water. I have some aluminum foil though. Somewhere. Somewhere there's a rainbow. I really hate that song. Don't know why I sang it. Maybe I can do this. My problem right now is going to be lifting this up to get this underneath it. Try not to dump out my stuff. Ooh, it sure enough got on fire. Shoot. Move, Dottie. I just realized I've got a problem with my stove. This is not all the way attached over here. It won't affect today's burn. Well, maybe that'll work. We'll see. If it doesn't, it's not like it's a loss. I just don't want to start a forest fire. Alright, I gotta get this picked back up again. Oh my word, did you see that? That's crazy. Oh, this is going to be one of those days, isn't it? It's going to be one of those days. Oh, I'd cry about it if oh Lord, I did too much of that yesterday. Today I'm not crying. Dottie, I love you. I love having you with me. But when you get right here, you get in my way. Come sit on this side. Oh, I'm sorry, my axe was in the way, wasn't it? Here, sit right there. While it's burning down some, let me show you my surprise. I have been watching Mr. Rodney on Creek Camper channel. That's his name of his YouTube channel. Y'all need to check him out. He does a lot of cooking in the woods, and it's so relaxing. I love to see when he's got a video out, because I know I can spend 20 or 30 minutes time just enjoying a campfire and cooking on it without me having to do it. I spend a lot of time, I watch all of his videos, and he gets out and he cooks, and he has been using what he calls a cowboy skillet. And I have, at first when he was using it, I thought, man, that's aluminum, and I don't want, that's neat, but lightweight, but it's aluminum. But I found out it's not. It's steel, but very thin. Whoop! Oh my gosh, I gotta get that up. So anyway, I wanted one. I was wanting one, and so I started looking around, and everything I found online was terribly expensive for a pan. At least it was more than I wanted to spend on an item like that. I looked up on eBay. There was somebody who was selling a pair of them, a 6-inch and an 8-inch, and they were asking $50 for it, which would have been $25 a piece, which is, you know, I mean, I guess it's not too bad. But it was also a or best offer. I just shot back an offer way lower than that, almost half what she was, or he, whoever was asking. They jumped on it, accepted it, got that thing shipped out to me. So here it is. This is my surprise. 2 cold handle cowboy skillets, and they are in awesome shape. I know I have seen some, they have really bad warping in the bottom, and it's not a flat surface, but these, now this one is slightly, ever so slightly warped. It doesn't sit quite flat, but it's not, golly, that's hot. It's not bad at all. But anyway, I was tickled to death to get these, so this is my surprise. I love it. That's got dog hair in it. How'd dog hair get in it? Have any idea? Did you do that? I had it under my bed. It's a cold handle skillet. It's wrapped in, this is steel. It's a thin pressed steel. And then it's wrapped with a piece of, I guess another piece of steel or something around the handle to kind of, to keep this cooler. I don't know if it keeps it cold, but it keeps it cooler than it would if it didn't have that on there. Same on this one. But my only concern with this was I didn't know if this was wide enough to sit up here without a problem. It's not. But this one is. This one should, yeah. Yeah, yeah. I'm going to use this one too, but it'll be toward the end for what I'm cooking today. Let's get all that dog hair out of here. Don't want dog hair in my food. Why? I eat it all the time, Mom. You can eat your own dog hair. I don't want to eat it. Donnie and I talk all the time. That's basically all I have to talk to anyway these days. So, we carry on major conversations with obviously me holding both sides. But we have a good time, don't we? Yeah, Mom. You got that right. I love you, Mom. I love you too, little girl. But you can't get in my lap right now. And don't lick me. Alright, let's get cooking. Let's get cooking. Alright, today I'm going to have, since this is breakfast, I love eggs. I absolutely love eggs, so I will have eggs. We're going to make some scrambled eggs. I brought some bacon bits and some cheese and spinach. And obviously my coffee stuff. The all-important butter. And a tortilla, because I'm going to put all of that in a tortilla. And that's what I'm going to use this pan for. After I get my eggs and stuff cooked in that, I'm going to lay my tortilla in this. And add my stuff to it and kind of melt my cheese. I hope. That's my plan anyway. Okay, so my little spatula. But what I'm looking for is a fork. I'll get it. Fork and, whoops, that's 2 forks. A knife. Ooh, that fork looks dirty. I didn't clean these. I think I licked them clean. That's okay, right? As long as I lick them clean. It'll be alright. Let me show you all the inside of this, since you can't see it from that perspective. And I'm going to go ahead and put the bacon bits in the eggs, I think. Well, I got a roaring fire in there. I also have spinach that I need to cook first, I guess, or saute. How did you get more dog hair in that? How did that happen? Are you just floofing it off when I'm not looking? You see this pan is not, you can hardly even see that it's bowed slightly. And again, this is much better than some other pans I've seen that are really gnarly in the bottom. This one's just enough that it doesn't sit flat. Doesn't matter. It's a cowboy pan. Cowboy skillet. It's got to be rough around the edges, right? As long as it can cook, it's all right with me. All right, we're gonna get a little butter up in this pan. We'll get this on the fire and melt the butter. See, on this thing, it doesn't matter that this pan's bowed. Now, if I used these little things, it probably would matter. I may use those things when I put my tortilla in that pan, my little pan, because I want to, woo, it got hot quick. I want to kind of toast my, heat my tortilla. I want to heat my tortilla up. Spinach, already chopped, or torn apart. I'm going to go ahead and lay my tortilla, we like to have fun and call it tortilla, and I know it's not pronounced that way, it's tortilla. It's just for fun. Same thing with the word scissors. We call them skizzers sometimes. Anyway, I got my tortilla in my pan. Time to add these, because those things are, oof, some of those are burning. Ooh, gross. Yeah, some of that spinach started to get kind of burned to be. Excuse you. Now I'm going to put my cheese in my tortilla. That's a lot of cheese. I will eat every slapping bit of it. Slapping. These pans, when I first got them, they were pretty dirty. They had some rust spots, so I had to clean them up and season them. Do you have to do that? Shh. Are they all good now? Okay, those are done. I'm going to add them to the tortilla. Look how awesome it stays clean. Now I'm just going to put this on here long enough to get the cheese to melt. But I'm going to have to, and I'm leaving it's down to some coals right now. I'm going to leave it like that for a little bit. But I'm going to have to get it going again to do coffee, and I've got to get my coffee pot. Oh, all I need to do is boil water because I brought some instant coffee today to make sure there aren't any bugs in here. No, it's all good. Oh goodness, that's looking awesome. Look at that cheese underneath the eggs. Can you see it? Oh goodness gracious. That's great. Alright, I'm going to transfer that to my plate. Roll that baby up. All snugly warm in its little tortilla blanket. Almost overstuffed. Ooh, that's hot on the bottom. I'm going to take a good old bite. That is so divine. And now I got to get this going before I lose my coals. Now we're going to boil some water for coffee. I can't remember if this is a 10 or a 12 ounce cup, and I need to look and see how much this, okay, this needs 8 ounces. Oh, is that going to balance on there? I hope so. This is a mushroom coffee made by Four Sigmatic. It's organic. It's organic coffee with lion's mane and chaga mushrooms. It's supposed to help with mental focus and energy. I don't know if it helps or not, but I bought the little packets for hiking, backpacking, but I have some that's like coffee grounds with the mushrooms in it that I use daily when I grind my other coffee. Anyway, it's pretty tasty. I thought that was too much cheese earlier, but it's actually just right. Need to get me a metal plate. I like cooking sitting here on this porch, and while I still don't have anything to lean against, just sitting up without me being in Indian style with my legs crossed, it helps so much. And I think I know where a metal plate is up at the house. There's some stuff, some scrap metal up there. I can bring a piece down here and I can set it up and do this. You want to bite so bad, don't you? Right here, here's some tortilla. There's steam coming out of that. Okay, let's get us a little coffee going. Ouch. This has mushrooms in it. I'm going to have mental focus and energy. What you talking about, Mom? I've been drinking that for months and it helped you a bit. Girl, don't you be talking to me like that. We'll see you later. Y'all stay wild.